we went through at the last session. We had a 3-week break, and it was Christmas and New Year, so I hope everyone is back to the ground now, or still, I'm not sure, still in holiday mood. But I hope you can share something about what you remember from our previous discussion. Anyone would like to share?
So previous session we talked about like Krishna was in dilemma.
Krishna was in a dilemma?
No, sorry.
Arjuna was in a dilemma. Yeah.
That whether he should go ahead with this fight because he was like thinking about his moral duties before thinking about like the duties as a king or as a warrior. So he was worried about it.
Okay. All right. Yes, he was in a dilemma whether he should fight or not. What are the reasons he gave for not wanting to fight? Anyone remember?
Compassion.
Safety.
Yeah.
Yes.
Safety, compassion,
Good, you remember the acronym, that's good. Yeah.
enjoyment, or
Lack of enjoyment.
lack of enjoyment.
Fear of
Bad
Wrongdoings,
Yeah.
wrongdoings.
Sinful reactions.
Sinful
Fear of sinful
reactions.
reactions.
Destruction of that.
destruction of
yeah,
dynasty
yeah.
and
No, indecision.
Indecision.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, you've got the acronym correct, that's good. Now let's elaborate a little bit on each one. What's the first one? Compassion, meaning what?
He was like more like as a brother, like how can I kill my gurus and my brothers? So that was the compassion towards his loved ones.
Compassion towards his family members, but not only his family members, because there were so many soldiers gathered on the field in the Battle of Kurukshetra. Do you know how many people lost their lives in the Battle of Kurukshetra? Any idea?
Million?
Not even close, actually.
Not even close.
Not
There's
even
some 4
close.
in the number, I think. Is it?
Yes, there is.
But I don't know the numbers.
640 million.
Oh,
640 million people killed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That's not a small number. And so, of course, that's a reason, one of the reasons why Arjuna was. Hare Krishna, Sumiji.
sorry, you're being late.
No problem, no problem. We're just waiting for you to tell us what we learned, all of us.
Just coming from office.
Yes, Paroti just told me, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for coming in spite of being coming back so late from work. Appreciate it, thank you. So Arjuna was thinking that because of him and his family, they were fighting to regain their kingdom, but because of them, so many people would have to lose their lives. So compassion for everyone. Okay, so that was one. What's the next one?
Not being able to enjoy.
Enjoy.
If they win everything,
Yeah.
there's nobody left to enjoy it with.
Correct, yes. You know, we said that if you achieve something in life, you want to share it with others. That's how you enjoy your success, right? But if no family members are left, no one is left to share it with, then where's the enjoyment? So that's one thing. Okay, then the next one?
Fear of sinful reactions.
Yes. We talked about how killing is
not that good.
yeah, it's a not good thing to do and carries karmic reactions to that, right? So he was fearful of that. Next one?
destruction of dynasty.
Yes. What does that mean?
Like he will kill the generations and his elders and the ancestors. So how they can protect the upcoming generations?
Yes. If all the elders in the family are, have been killed, and also men. After the battle, so many women were left widowed, right? So if all the men are killed, then who is going to carry on the generation? Who's going to protect the generation that's already there? Who's going to guide them, right? So this was another concern that he had, destruction of dynasty. And finally, indecision. He couldn't decide what to do. He was in a dilemma. Couldn't decide what to do. Any of us been there where we can't decide what to do sometimes in life? Anyone been there?
Many times.
Yes. Yes. Sorry. Every day. Okay.
Many
Yes.
times in one day.
Yes. True. Yes. Although our dilemma is not as bad as Arjuna's, yeah, but nevertheless we go through our own dilemmas in life, yeah. So these are the reasons that were given, Arjuna. And do you think these are valid reasons?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very valid reasons. Okay, these are not whimsical reasons. These are all very valid, and it makes a lot of sense what he's saying. Okay. What did we say about what did Arjuna do when he was in a dilemma? What did he do?
He
Spoke
asked
to
Krishna.
He asked Krishna. What did he ask Krishna? Hare Krishna, Rishiji. You're quiet. No worries, please come. Join us in the second class, please come. So what did Arjuna do with the dilemma? When he was in a dilemma, what did he do?
Surrender and asked Krishna to guide.
What did he, what shloka is that and what is, did anyone make an effort to memorize the shloka? Yes? How many? Okay, not bad, okay. All right, that's okay. Let's hear it from one of you. Who would like to?
Maybe I'm not fully correct, but yes.
No worries, just give it a try.
Karpanyadusho bhadar swabhava prachami bhavanam dhari samol chetah yashajiyasyan yashtam ruhitam me sisyati hamsadi hamtam prapanam.
Very nice, very good. Thank you, Bharuji. What does it mean? Nityaji?
Basically, he says, Arjuna says that I'm surrendering to you, God. I've tried everything and I don't understand how to proceed. So please, and he uses the word surrender. Basically, he says, I'm surrendering. Please now show guide me. And then you had told us to read. So he said, I forgot that. I remembered only on the way. he said something like, yeah, this is what my
Miserly
miserly
weakness.
Yes.
weakness.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so everyone understood the translation of that shloka. Does that sound something like something we could use? Does that prayer sound like something we could
Yeah,
use
yeah,
in our
yeah.
daily lives?
Yeah.
Yeah? So that's why I request that you please try to read the shloka and read the translation and try and practice it in your day-to-day lives. We just agreed, everyone here agreed that we go through dilemmas every day, several times a day. Okay, but what do we often try to use our intelligence to resolve it. And our intelligence will only take us so far. Of course, we have to use our intelligence to try and resolve things. But why should we restrict ourselves to just our intelligence when there's a higher power available to us? Right? So intelligence is using our skills and our talents and also tapping into higher intelligence who can guide us in so many different ways. So please try to memorize this shloka and just repeat it every day as often as possible until it becomes like second nature to you. Because this also, not only it helps us to call out to Krishna and tell him that I don't know what to do, guide me. And the thing we don't always appreciate is that guidance is available to us. That guidance is available to us all the time. But Krishna is not going to impose anything on us. He's not going to tell you, Nityaji, you have this problem, this is what you should do. No, he's not going to do that. But if we reach out to him, if we turn to him and say, I have this problem, please help me, then you will see that help comes. Try it, don't take my word for it. Try it, I speak from experience because this is what I have done. When I learned it, I tried doing it and it has come in so useful to me in my life. So please try it. Okay, please try that. Okay. Then we spoke about there were some signs of victory on the battlefield. Yeah? Anyone can share? What were the signs of victory?
Hanumanji on the chariot.
Hanumanji on the flag. Yeah, on the flag of Arjuna's chariot. Yes, very good. Okay. Sound of the shank. Yes, the sound of the conch shells blown by those on the Pandava side.
Because Krishna was already there on the battlefield.
Yes.
That meant that goddess of fortune was also there,
Yes.
which was already a sign of victory.
Yes,
for
very
the
nice.
Pandavas.
Yes, goddess of fortune already there. She's present wherever Krishna is there. Goddess of fortune is also present. That means fortune already favors them. Yes, and then we said, what was it? Goddess of fortune, flag of Hanuman, conch shells.
And then Krishna being present
Krishna
himself.
himself
Krishna
is there.
himself.
Yeah, Krishna himself is seated on the chariot as the charioteer of Arjuna. So, what better, what more do you need?
Yeah.
If you have God on your side, then you're set. Everything is done, right? So all these signs of victory were already there. So good, we remember something from last week's discussion. That's good. Now, So we left last week at this point where Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. He's in a dilemma, he doesn't know what to do, and then he spoke this shloka in 2.7, where he asks Krishna to guide him. He says, now I'm a disciple. I'm a disciple surrendered unto you. You please guide me what I should do. Now, so Krishna now begins to speak in the Bhagavad Gita. Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted to ask about the miserly weakness. Sorry, yes.
Did you contemplate on that? Anyone? What's the meaning of miserly weakness? Weakness already is negative, right? Then why did he add miserly word to it? Oh? Already season.
So, I mean, I thought about it and I felt that maybe because he's talking to Krishna and he feels that he's so small and then he doesn't have so much knowledge and wisdom that he feels like poor compared to Krishna's wisdom, and that's why he's asking him for his guidance. And maybe he used that word in that context, and my knowledge is limited, and that's why your minds are not monetary but in limited knowledge sense.
Yeah, limited doesn't exactly mean miserly. Miserly means the resources are there, but the person is not using it. Right? That means Arjuna is saying that he has the intelligence, but he is not able to use it properly. Normally, why we use miserly word? For what kind of person we use miserly word? Person is miserly, conjuice, right? Why do we use that? Or when do we use that?
When we have it, but we don't intend to spend it.
Correct? So, Prabhupada gave explanation about this. He said, we got human form of life, which is very rare, right? Which is the doorstep, gateway for moksha, for liberation. And we know that. If we don't know that, we are supposed to know that. We have to acquire that knowledge. Because that's the purpose of human life. If the purpose of human life, we don't utilize it for getting that purpose achieved, we are miserly. If the person has wealth, and he is not utilizing the wealth in the right way, we say the person is miserly. So Arjuna is saying that I have the intelligence, but because of my emotional bondage with my family members, I'm not able to use the intelligence properly. And that is causing the weakness. So that is miserly weakness. In spite of having the knowledge, because whatever, see the reasons he gave, very logical reasons, right? And Krishna gave him the answers. Later on we'll study that, discuss that. So whatever questions, the objections or the concerns Arjuna raised, very logical. Right? That means he was very intelligent. Now, if you have read Bhagavad Gita 18 chapters, 700 shlokas, whenever Krishna speaks to Arjuna, after each instruction Krishna gives, or after each shloka Krishna speaks to him, not a single moment, not at single point, Arjuna told Krishna, can you repeat? I did not understand. He understood everything. Just by hearing only once. That means his intelligence was very sharp. Krishna didn't have to repeat himself. Of course, he was asking some questions relating to the previous shloka what Krishna spoke, but he never asked him to repeat. I don't understand. So Arjuna is saying that I have the intelligence. He was a disciple of Dronacharya, right? And all the demigods he went to learn from demigods he went to the heaven. So many gurus he had. So knowledge was not lacking, but he did not know how to utilize, how to use that knowledge, because of the emotional bondage he had with the family members, and which was holding him back from fighting. Now, earlier she said, that when Arjuna raised his points, and Krishna is giving him all the solutions. Like in our life also, we have to turn to him. But whenever we are able to turn to him, and we are fortunate enough to turn to him, still Krishna will never impose these ideas upon us. You will see these are the options, not decision you have to make. Otherwise, if I make decision on your behalf and something goes wrong, you blame me. Without that also we blame him, right? If something goes wrong in our life. So Krishna is very clever in that sense. I'm giving you the options, not decision you make. Because the consequences you have to face. After whatever decision you make, you do, the consequences you have to face. So at the end of the 18th chapter also he told Arjuna, now everything is clear to you. Now you have to decide. Don't ask me to decide on your behalf. Correct? So Krishna doesn't interfere in our free will. Free will is always there. We have to make the decision. Right? So that is the meaning of miserly weakness. Right? Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm using my free will now to say that we need to continue with the, where we left off last week. So Arjuna asked this question, surrendered to Krishna, and now Krishna is going to begin answering him and guiding him. Okay? So you'll see that the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is the longest chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. Second and the last chapter is the longest one. Right? So there's a lot of things to cover. So I'm just going to try and divide it in a sensible way so that we focus on certain topics. So today's discussion is going to be centered on the science of the soul. Science of the soul. You had asked a question a couple of weeks before relating to the soul, and I said, wait until this class, okay, we'll discuss, and you can bring that up later. But so we will see that in chapter 2, when we start reading what Krishna is saying, it says there, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. In many places you will see this, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, it starts with this. So first I'd like to start off today's class by understanding what Bhagavan means. Can anyone share with me? We've heard this term very often, yes? What does Bhagavan mean?
Supreme soul.
Supreme soul, good try, okay. Supreme soul. Anyone else?
Bhagavan, that's God, right?
Bhagavan, God,
God, that's what it
okay.
is, yeah, it's a,
Yes, okay.
the little word.
One who controls the fate,
One who controls
the fate.
faith of others, yeah, okay, very good.
Wife.
Why? Okay, the supreme controller, okay.
I think a divine force probably
A
is.
divine force, okay, all
For
right.
the wife, sorry, for the wife, normally, originally the word was Bhagyavan. Then they shortened it to Bhagwan. Why Bhagyavan? Because she's so fortunate that she has found a husband like me. So from Bhagyavan, they shortened it to Bhagwan or Bhagwan.
So what does Bhagwan mean?
Paramatma, like the origin of, like, everything comes from him and goes to him, something like Janani and the person, everything takes away.
Okay, the cause of all
The
causes.
cause of
The cosmic.
Cosmic.
the power of the universe.
Okay, all correct, okay, all correct, all describing different aspects of the Lord. Just like, there's a gulab jamun, everybody's biting from different angle, that's all, okay, so all correct, okay. But the Shastras explain that Bhagavan means one who is full in 6 opulences. This is what Bhagavan means. One who is full in 6 opulences. What are these opulences? One who is full of beauty, full of strength, strongest of the strong. One who is famous. No one is more famous than him, okay? Full of fame, full of wealth. No one is more wealthy than the Supreme Lord. Full of knowledge, and finally, completely renounced. He possesses all these things, but he's completely renounced. He's not attached to any one of them. This is the definition of Bhagavan. So we all, now, some of us have beauty, some of us have strength, some of us are famous, some of us have knowledge, some of us are renounced also. So does that make us Bhagavan?
No.
Why not?
Because we do not have a complete authority.
Yes, we don't have it in full. Important to understand, we all have some of it. To some extent we have it, but we don't have it in full. So Bhagavan definition is one who has these 6 opulences in full, complete. Okay, so that's the definition of Bhagavan. Alright, now Krishna then begins his shiksha in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, after Arjuna's question, Krishna starts to speak about the difference between the body and the soul. So can I ask you all to turn to chapter 2, text number 12, please?
There's
to.
just one doubt on the definition of Bhagwan.
Yeah.
I could be wrong here, but the element of goodness or good deed is not there in this.
Element of
The element of good deeds, as in
good deeds.
good deeds, right? Let's say Ravan.
Mm.
A lot of these things would fit Ravan also. But probably the deed factor of not doing something wrong for others, should that not be a factor when you look at a supreme force?
Is it a factor or not? It's not mentioned because it is understood that God will only do what is good for us. Does not need to be separately called out. Because God will only do, He's our Supreme Father, and He will only do what is best for us. We may not be able to understand it. The Supreme Son is coming. Hare Krishna, Anant Beta.
Say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, how are you? So, yeah, so the Supreme Lord always thinks the best for us, always does the best for us. We may not understand it, and oftentimes it may look as though things are not going our way. And we may think that, is God really there? Is He really there? Is He going, is He there? I'm trying to do something and, it doesn't seem like He's there to support me or help me. In fact, things seem to be going in the opposite direction, right? So, we may question like this, but we have to understand that the Supreme Lord is our Supreme Father, and He can only do what is best for us. The problem is we don't understand what is best for us. That's the issue here. The issue is not whether God does the best for us. The issue is whether we understand what is best for us. Most of the time we don't. Okay? Similar to our families also, right? In our families also, when we are children, we're growing up, sometimes our parents tell us to do something. We may not agree with it. We may not like it. We may not even think it's right for us. Yeah? But we know that parents always have our best interests at heart. No parent will ever think something bad for the child. We may not understand why they're thinking, their reasoning. We may not even agree with it. Okay? But we have to have that faith and that understanding that they are our parents. And they will always, Hare Krishna.
I guess
That's
No, there's
a
one.
chain, yeah. So we should understand that he always has our best interests at heart. Just like as parents, we have our child's best interests at heart. Is that
Thank you.
okay? Can I
Makes
check?
sense.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
Sorry, can I ask something? Yeah.
Yes, Rishi.
By the definition of God you mentioned, are you trying to say God is a person?
Oh, very
Yes.
important question, yes. We'll come to that.
Okay.
We'll come to that. You're a little bit ahead of me.
Because the definition implies we're talking about a person.
Yes, yes.
That's what I understand.
Totally, yes. So we'll come to that. At one point, at one point,
they were.
they were, who's they?
Ramji, Krishna.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So you're saying at one point they were persons.
They came to earth as a human being.
It's not that at one point, thank you for pointing that out, it's absolutely right. It's not that at one point they were persons. They are always persons. They're always persons. Okay? They're always persons. But it's just the way we can perceive them in different ways. And that's what we'll come to that, Rishiji. You're ahead of me, sorry. Okay?
No worries, yeah, thank you.
But we'll come to that later, okay? So, but this is also actually kind of ties in with the point that I'm going to make now, okay? Let's look at this. Can we look at 2.12, please? Chapter 2, text 12. Yeah, sure. So let's recite the shloka together. Everyone will do it together, okay? Natam evaham jatu nasam natvam. Hare Krishna, I said together.
Oh, sorry.
I'm the only one chanting now. Natam evaham jatu nasam natvam nirme janadika nachaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayam ataparam. Once more. Nataveham jatu nasam natvam nirme janadriva nacheva na bhavishyama sarve vayamata param. And the translation, can someone read?
Never was there a time when I did not exist, or you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us ceases to be.
Right. So this is a very important shloka which establishes the fact that we are all individuals and that we are all eternal. Okay, Krishna says here that never was there a time when I did not exist. I means Krishna. Okay, he's talking about himself. Nor all these kings, that means everyone is gathered on the battlefield. Nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. That means we're eternal. There's never going to be a time where any of us are going to be not there. So who is this we that he's referring to is not going to be there, right? Because we know people die, right? We've lost loved ones in life. One day it will happen to us also. That's the reality of life. So who is this we that Krishna is talking about?
Soul.
Soul? Is it? Everyone agrees on
Yes.
this?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Does anyone here have a problem with the concept of soul? Anyone here believes there's no soul? We don't have souls?
You know, there's one thing I learned. When you say believe, it means I don't know. Right? So when we believe, we can believe in anything, right? I mean, we don't know soul, and I think you also mentioned the word believe.
Okay,
We can believe in soul, but we don't know soul.
Okay.
But it's a belief, anyways. Yeah.
Okay, alright.
So that's how I look at
Basically,
this
we
concept.
can't say it's a fact. That's what I can't. I cannot say it's a fact. Yes, I think the concept is correct.
Okay.
But yeah, if you put me and say, is it true or false, a fact? It is there. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright, okay, good.
Like,
Uh,
tells you, you just believe it.
Okay, it's like someone, it's not,
Scientifically.
it's not scientifically proven.
Like either the Ramayana.
Young generation, everything needs to be scientifically proven, okay?
Even like the Ramayana,
Yes.
there's like past
This
places.
is passed down through
like-
generations.
No, not like the floating rocks. There's like evidence of that existing in the Ramayana.
There's no evidence.
There's evidence.
There is evidence,
Like
yes.
the floating rocks and sea bodies.
The Ashokvatika, yeah,
There's like a lot of evidence supporting.
there is evidence
Yeah,
supporting
but then
it.
soul is just like one belief that you have to believe.
Okay, alright, okay, good, okay. So let's delve into this a little deeper, okay? So now, first of all, let's understand that each one of us, all of us, we have two types of bodies. We have two types of bodies. We have the gross body, which is made up of Panchamahabhutas. Panchamahabhutas. What are the Panchamahabhutas?
Water.
Earth, fire, water,
Yeah, let's go.
air,
Okay, earth, water, fire, air, and space or ether. Okay, so these are the Panchamahabhutas which the body is made up of. Okay, so this is the gross body. Each one of us also has a subtle body. Subtle body is mind, intelligence, and ego. Mind, intelligence, and ego. This is our subtle body. All of us have this also. Okay? Have you seen anyone's intelligence?
can be measured.
Have you seen my intelligence?
I've read it.
Yeah, but have you seen it? No.
Abstract.
Does that mean I have no intelligence?
That is not.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, mom is right. You can perceive it. Right? You can perceive it. You can't see somebody's mind. You can't see somebody's intelligence, but you know it exists. There are symptoms that show that these exist. Right? So, okay, we'll come to that, but now, so far we're talking about two types of bodies, the gross body and the subtle body. Clear so far? Okay. Then, there is the soul. There is the Jiva Atma. Okay. So the Jiva Atma, the soul, is covered by these two bodies. First covered by the gross body, and then the subtle body. All of us have this. What happens at the time of death is that the body perishes, the subtle body, mind, intelligence, and ego, goes with the soul to the next body. Okay? I'm sure a lot of questions coming up. Just bear with me for now. Listen, hear me out first. Okay? So the body, the soul goes from this body, now this body is gone, soul goes to another body. Mind, intelligence, and ego goes with the soul to another body. Right? Now, we say that we can't prove there's a soul. Okay? It's whether there's a soul or not. So, if we see someone, a loved one, a friend, a person, okay, we interact with them like we're interacting now and everything, then the person dies. The person dies, and then we say what? The body may be before us, but we say the person is gone. Yes or no? Right? Why do we say that? The body is there. But why do we say the person is gone?
It's the soul of the body.
Because that living force is no longer within the body. Right? Sorry? Subtle body left the gross body. Yes. No, not the subtle body. Not only the subtle body, the soul. The soul is not subtle body. Soul is spiritual. Soul is spiritual. Okay, we're coming to that step by step. So by common sense understanding, we can also see this. We have all had experience of seeing someone die, and we see that when the soul leaves the body, the person, we say the person is dead. The person is no longer there. The person is gone.
We
Sorry,
just call it as a body, not even a person.
We don't even call it as a person. We say the body is here. The body needs to be cremated. Body needs to be this.
So like use the word living force.
Yes.
Right. So there's a living force, and a body is dead when the living force is gone.
Mm.
But that does not necessarily prove that the soul is gone, if the soul exists. I'm just trying to put the counter argument that to say, so if the example, if the body is no longer alive, it's because the living force is gone.
Yes.
It can also be the living force has disappeared, not necessarily that it's a soul that's left the body. So I'm just
Yes. No. Thank
skeptical,
you. Thank you
yeah.
for bringing that up.
Yeah.
But what is the soul?
Exactly.
The soul is the living force.
Yes.
That's what we refer to as the soul. You can call it any name you want. You can call it living force. You can call it ABC. You can call it XYZ.
Energy. yeah.
Energy. You
yes.
can call it energy, as most people do. But the fact is that without the existence of that, the body is just a dead body. Yes?
Again,
Yes.
the debate is that does the soul exist after leaving the body?
Okay.
That's the debate.
Yeah, so that's
That's
another
a separate
step
one,
up.
yeah.
That's another step up. First, we are now talking about the
Yeah.
existence of the soul,
Yeah.
whether the soul exists or not. So my point is, whatever you want to call it, you can call it. You can call it any different
Yeah.
name. Soul, jiva, atma. You can call it any other name. Okay. But the point is, in the shastras, it is referred to as the soul, and it's the same thing. It is the living force, without which it cannot function. Without which the person is not alive anymore. Just like I'm using a microphone here. It's dead matter. It's dead matter. On its own it cannot function. But it can function because there's electricity flowing through it. Therefore it works. So it's the same principle. Can you see electricity? Can we see electricity?
We can feel it.
You can feel it. You can see the symptoms. Yeah, you can try and touch a live wire, then you can feel the electricity firsthand. But we all know it exists. We all know it exists. Okay? We also know, most of us have learned that about the existence of neutrons, protons, electrons, atoms. Can we see an electron?
Yeah, can with an electronic microscope.
With a microscope, with some kind of device, you
Yeah,
can
can,
see it,
can.
okay? But naked eye, you can't see, right? Naked eye, you can't see, but you can perceive of it. How does a TV work? How does a TV work? Yes, the device works through electricity, but how do the images come? It's a focused projection of electrons. That's how the images appear on the screen. So we can't see the individual things, but we can perceive their presence. Right? So we know, the point I'm trying to make is there are many things we can't see, but we can understand that it is present and it exists. So just in the same way, the soul, the confirmation, one confirmation, not the only, one confirmation of the soul, existence of the soul, is that consciousness. Symptom of the soul is consciousness. When the soul is present, there is consciousness. When the soul leaves the body, there's no longer consciousness in the body. This is one level of proof of understanding, the existence of the soul. Now we want to talk about scientific proof, okay? Scientific proof of this. There have been many studies done, okay, over many, many years in the West, because we Indians, we all have this thing that anything comes from the West must be true, okay? But it's a fact. Many universities in the West have done research on out-of-body experiences, near-death experiences, past life regression, yeah? So many things have been done. This is no longer a subject for debate. It's been proven scientifically already. The soul exists and it transmigrates from one lifetime to another. There are people who can remember their past lives, who can tell exactly where they were born, who they were, etc., things like this. And scientists have gone back to that village or the place to corroborate these things, and these things have been proven to be true. This is just one example. There are many examples of people who are in a surgery. During surgery, they experience coming out of the body, hovering in the room around this one, and they can hear. The body is under anesthesia. They're anesthetized, so technically they should be unconscious. But after the surgery, they're able to explain, they're able to narrate exactly what the doctor said, what they did, what instruments were used, what the diagnosis, so everything they can say, because they were present as a soul and observing everything that's going on. These things, many, many such cases have been documented. And even in the West, they accept that out-of-body experiences, there's a living force. They may not call it soul also, but they accept that there is a living force which causes the body to live and which which comes out of the body and which has the ability to observe things. So this consciousness is what we refer to in our Shastras as soul. Are we okay?
Yes.
Can I add something
Yes.
to support what you're saying?
Okay.
See, in science, in my limited understanding, the science, you can see electrons, neutrons, protons. You can't see the space which is between these particles in an atom. And that's what Higgs boson experiment was on. They tried to find what is this space, that they could not. The Higgs boson experiment was actually a failure. Actually, they reached 99.999%. And to prove anything in maths, you have to get 99.9999%. I mean, in a way they reached, in a way they failed. But yeah, science has till now failed to identify, this emptiness in the space. And that is the biggest volume taker inside an atom or inside this universe. So science does have a lot of limitations.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that space is can be equated to that soul or energy in some way, I feel.
It's called God's particle.
Yeah, that's why, this is something
We
which
discovered it.
you could,
We discovered it a couple of years back.
couple of months back.
Couple of years back.
God's part.
No, I mean,
Yes.
that, as I said, it's a 4 sigma principle. They couldn't get 99.9999. So, in one way, it was a failure. But if you take 99.999%, 3 decimal places as success, it was successful. But to
Yes.
find that one particle, I think they spent hundreds of billions of dollars here just to find that. So there is some mystery there in this space or soul or the energy, Atma. There is a lot of mystery there.
Science accepts now that there are forces which they cannot explain.
Yeah.
Okay. At least they have come to this stage of acceptance. Okay. Because don't even get me started on science. I'm a science student. My background is in science, but don't even get me started on science.
I can add one more thing because to support what you were saying, we are working on an assumption here
right? I don't know what the real definition of God, but I think we're assuming God is a person. In science also, I mean, I studied navigation. We assume Earth is spherical, but Earth is not a sphere. So the full navigation is derived out of that assumption, which is the wrong assumption, that Earth is spherical. So even in science, there are a lot of wrong assumptions made. So I mean, we know that science has a lot of flaws here. That,
Yes, science has
Science is
a lot.
hypothesis.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
It's
You prove
hypothesis,
it, it's
exactly.
right. You don't
Absolutely.
prove it, it's wrong. It's
Exactly,
hypothesis.
it's hypothesis, and one of the biggest hypotheses is Darwin's theory of evolution. Charles Darwin himself, before he died, accepted that his theory is based on hypothesis. Okay, so there's a lot of hypothesis in science. There's a lot of limitations in science, and therefore, since we're talking about science, I just want to throw it out there. I just want to remind everybody, and just to raise awareness. Let us not be so hung up on wanting everything to be validated by science. Let us not be hung up on this, okay? Especially, and I'm very passionate about this, especially our Vedic culture, Vedic knowledge and Shastra does not need validation from any quarter. Certainly not from science. Science is so limited. It has so many limitations, and today, a scientific discovery, something they discovered today, a few months down the line, they will say, oh, it's not like this, it's something else, okay? When I was in school, we had 9 planets. Pluto was a planet, okay? A few years later, Pluto is not a planet anymore, right? So this is just an example. Science keeps changing because science is not discovering anything. Science is rediscovering what has already been stated in our Shastras. It's important that we understand this. They're just simply rediscovering what's already been there, what's already been stated. So that's why there's always a trial and error, and they keep making mistakes. So since we're talking about the subject of science, science has its place. Certainly, it's important. But let's not get so hung up on wanting science to validate, Vedic history and Vedic sciences. Let's not get hung up on this, because Vedic sciences stand on its own merit. They don't need validation from any quarter. Okay? Young generation, I know everything has to be scientifically proven, but you get what I'm saying. You're intelligent enough, Shastra, to understand. Science has its place, but it's not that everything needs to be scientifically proven. And science now accepts there are many things that it cannot explain. And it says that there are certain things which they may not call it God, they may call it something else, but they accept that something higher exists. Albert Einstein, is one of the greatest minds of our century, okay? He himself says you should read what he says about the Bhagavad Gita. Read it when you have some time, okay? Google it and read it. So let's come back to this now.
Can I just say one thing
Yes,
about
Nidhi.
the soul and the studies that are published about it? I'm sure there are lots of other studies, but
Yes.
there's this book written called Many Lives, Many Masters.
Many Masters,
I don't
Many
know if
Lives.
you've read it.
Very much.
It's about this one psychologist who had this patient who had a fear of water, and he prescribed all the usual methods, and he was just not able to get to the bottom of it. And then he didn't want to do all this past life regression, but he reluctantly tried that because he was just not able to help her. And then through the whole thing, it's all documented, it's all on tape, like whatever. Like when she went into past life regression, everything that she would recount is exactly what's actually written in our Vedic
Right.
scriptures. So.
Yes.
It's a very good book.
I have the ebook. I'll send it on the group. It's a really good book.
Oh, this one, Many Lives,
Many
Many
Lives,
Masters.
Many
right?
Masters. The same person has written many other books talking about how our lives have many souls and how we travel to.
No, our
different-
soul has many lives.
Sorry.
We got it,
So
we got it.
our souls have many lives, and we travel through different generations just so that we can learn something out of each.
Who's the author of this book?
Dr. Brian.
Brian Weiss.
Yeah.
Matlab Samgora.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
So there is also
So-
a local person
Yeah.
from Hong Kong called Anita Murjani.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, Dying to Be Me.
Yeah.
She's written from her book.
Yeah.
from her own experience.
Okay, yes, yeah, let's leave Anita out of it. We know her.
Yeah.
Okay, so, that's there.
Yeah.
So another point I want to say is that, okay, Son Gora has written this book. The book may be very good, okay, and he's talking about the sun.
You know, we have a Gora right here. Sorry.
He's not Gora,
He's
he's,
not Sorry, he's ex-Gora.
Tom is a Kashmiri Pandit. You didn't know? Tom is a Kashmiri Pandit, okay?
Only when he
He's
does-
Indian, he's Indian. So we have,
You didn't tell me this, yeah.
my point being that before this person wrote this book, wasn't this information already in our Shastras?
Yes, already.
Yeah? Why is it that we never took it up? Why is it, even if we read it, first of all, reading itself is difficult. Secondly, even if we read it, we generally tend to not believe it. This is, I'm not belittling what both of you said, please don't get me wrong, okay? And it's just an example of our Indian mentality. We tend to minimize the value of our own culture and Shastras. We wait until our culture and our wisdom goes to the West, is taken up by the Goras and exported back to India, just like what happened with yoga. And then now yoga is, wow, I'm a yoga enthusiast, I practice this, that, and everything. Why now? Why in the last 20, 30 years? Yoga has
We
been,
have another group. Sorry.
yoga has been part of our culture for millennia, right? But we don't take advantage of it, okay? We don't value our culture, our tradition, our heritage, we don't. This is a common theme I see amongst us Indians. I'm not finger pointing at anyone here, just raising awareness. Let's be proud of our culture and our heritage. Why do we need to wait for some Gora to corroborate this and validate this before we say yes, our culture is great? Right? That's right.
But I think it's because of things are easily available in an easier form to understand.
It's marketed better, packaged better, I think.
Packaged, but it's
We have the
more like
substance,
it
but
is-
cannot package it
But
properly.
The yoga-
In my case, I tried many times to read this, but I failed to understand the gist. Of course, that's why we are having this discussion. Everyone has tried once on their life, let's just sit and let's read our Bhagavad Gita and all. But do we really have that intelligence to understand the gist? And if we understand, how guarantee is it really what it is and what we understood? So is it easily available and it is easy to understand? So that's why we feel connected to that.
Good point,
concept.
Paroji, very good point. What you say holds true maybe about 20, 30 years ago. Now it no longer holds true, because now a lot of this information is easily available in a language that we can understand. Before it was all in Sanskrit.
Yes.
How many of us have studied Sanskrit? How many of us can understand? Oh, excellent.
Studied, but
Don't ask any further questions.
Okay.
I used to be good.
Yes, you may have studied something in school, okay, but do we have that level of expertise to be able to read the Shastras and understand? Most of us don't, okay? So, for most of us, we have no access to Sanskrit even. We are most comfortable with English. Even our mother tongue, Hindi or whatever it may be, we are not that comfortable with. We generally think and speak in English, okay? So, all these wisdom of the Shastras is now available to us in English. And one of the greatest proponents of this is Srila Prabhupada, the person who founded the Hare Krishna movement. He spent his entire life translating everything from Sanskrit into English. This is his life's work, his life's mission. And because of that, we have so much information that's available to us now. Where could you find Bhagavad Gita in English before? But in the last 20, 30 years, it's now available. So now all the information is available to us. Okay, so we just need to make an effort to read. And if we don't understand something, then we gather and we discuss. Through this we learn, which is what we are doing today. Okay, so I have digressed already into many different parts. So we were talking about the three components of a human being. What are the three components we said?
Cross body.
Cross body, subtle body, and the soul. Yeah, and the
The
soul.
soul.
Okay. Now, which one is our true self?
Or something
So
Which one is our real identity, our true self? The soul is the true self, and then the gross and the subtle body is the covering of the soul. Okay? Now, we talked about some evidences for the existence of the soul. So for each one of us, we are souls, we are jivatmas, we are souls. But within our body, there's also another soul called the super soul. That's the Paramatma. And that is the expansion of Krishna, who is with us also within this body. So we don't only have our soul, our individual living entity, we also have the super soul, the Paramatma, who is present within us, in our hearts also. The Paramatma and the Atma, are we
You
clear?
mean a part of Paramatma inside us? Or are you saying the full Paramatma?
What's the definition of full Paramatma and partial Paramatma?
So we all are gods if the Paramatma is, I'm just trying to.
That's my
I'm
question.
asking you.
Don't ask me my question, Rishi. I'll come to that,
Okay.
okay? So, Paramatma, Atma means soul. Paramatma means super soul, supreme soul, okay? So, we're going to discuss what the nature of the soul is and what the nature of the super soul is. We'll come to that, okay? You're 10 steps ahead of me, Rishi.
No, I
Give
said
me
I
a
have two
break,
questions. Yes.
okay?
Sorry.
That's okay. So everyone clear so far? Jivatma and Paramatma, both inside one's body.
So there's the body's made out of 4 parts: gross body, subtle mind, soul, and spirit.
Yes. But what makes us, we as individuals are only these three. The spirit soul, gross body, and subtle body. But super soul is there to accompany us. He's a witness. He stays in our hearts. He's the witness to all our activities, our thoughts, everything. When the body dies, the super soul is not affected in any way. Because the super soul is an expansion of the Supreme Lord Himself. Okay? So, when I die, my body will go back to the Panchamahabhutas. My soul will go to another body. Well, I'm hoping not. I'm hoping I'll go back to the spiritual world, but if I don't qualify, I will have to take another body. Along with that body, my subtle body, mind, intelligence, and ego will go into the body with me, next body with me. The super soul will also go to accompany me in the next body. But the super soul is not part of me. You confused, Shashwat?
So if
So
I,
what causes the past life?
What causes?
What causes the past life?
What causes past life remembrance? Okay, this is a big topic which we will come to later. But just since Shashwat has asked this question, our reactions, our karmic record from this life is carried into the next life through the subtle body. The mind, intelligence, and ego. Karma. Yes, it's a big topic which we will discuss down the line. But all our actions and reactions, everything is recorded. This will be carried from this body into the next body by the subtle body. Just stay with me on this for now. Okay? Are we clear so far?
Yeah.
Mind, intelligence, false ego is the subtle body, and that goes with the soul into my next janam. Yeah, we good so far? Yes,
Just one
Imaji.
question. So, whatever we kind of gain or lose in this life, is it a reflection of the deeds that the soul did in the previous life, or is it because of the actions we as a person are doing in the current life?
Both.
both. I think there are three kind of karmas, like what we do in this life. or
Karma,
we-
different topic. Different day, different topic. It's a big topic, okay? Just to answer your question, Himanji, you are here, you're a spirit soul. That's your original identity. But right now, you have a male body. You're in a man's body. You look a certain way. You have, I don't know your background, but whatever, you have a certain set of parents, siblings, this and that, everything. All these things, why is it that in this life you came as a male with these particular features?
I don't know.
This is because of your karmic reaction from the past life. Karma from past life
Led to the origin of.
led to you taking birth as a man, as a male, in a particular body, particular environment, everything, karma from past life.
Okay.
Alright? Now, what you do in this life will determine what actions, reactions you get in this life
Plus.
as well as the next one. This is a very sobering thought. Be very careful what you do. With every action, with every thought, with every word, with every action, you're preparing your next body.
But we don't remember it.
It's another point. Okay, come to that. Are we good so far?
Yeah.
Yes, everything we do, we are actually preparing our next life. So be very careful what we are doing, because it's going to affect the kind of body and situation we're going to get in our next life.
And I think that's where the belief part should come into play. That if you have the belief, whatever you do in this life would have a repercussion for your future lives. You call it soul or whatever. Your deeds of this life would have a long-lasting consequence, even when you're not there.
Yes.
So that belief, I think, probably leads to somebody hoping and believing there is a soul. And some people saying, okay, go away, there is no soul. I'll just live this life and I'm done with it. Right? So I think that conditioning probably leads to the belief in people, and I completely agree. I think it's a belief that maybe in this room everybody believes we have a soul, but I'm sure there are people in this world who completely don't subscribe to it. They just say, I'm here, I live this life and I'm done with it. Right? So I think that's where probably some of these Vedas, whatever we call it, right, educational books, whatever, I think the importance comes into play. That you probably condition people in a good way. We need to have good people around, right? And that's where the crux of, I think, Gitas and Ramayans probably come into play.
Okay, that's a good, interesting perspective. Okay, I beg to differ. A lot of your points are valid.
Mhm.
Okay, let's just examine these two words: belief and truth. Belief can change. Belief can change. What you believe today, you can change tomorrow. Yes? The truth remains the truth, regardless of whether you believe it or not. Is this clear? Belief, we all have our beliefs. Okay? We can change our beliefs anytime. That's the nature of belief. I can have a belief today, I can change it tomorrow. Truth means, by its very nature, it is true. It's always true. It's always true. Whether I believe it or not, it remains true. Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. I may say I don't believe it. It's your problem. You don't believe, you don't. But sun is not going to change just because you don't believe. Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. Full stop. You believe, you don't believe, that's your problem. Okay? If you believe that the sun rises in the east, you can align your life according to that. Understanding that the sun is going to rise here, I can, like for Vastu Shastra, for example, east entrance is very good. Why? We work on these principles. We know sun is always going to rise in the east. It's not going to change its direction. Right? So like this. So there's a big difference between belief and truth. We respect the fact that different people have different beliefs. But what I'm trying to say, for at least those of us here in this room, we should understand that it's not only about what we believe. We are free to choose what we believe. But we can't ignore the fact that something is the truth. And if I don't believe it, it doesn't mean the truth changes. I have the free will to choose whether I believe that or not. But regardless of whether I choose to believe it or not, the truth remains the truth.
That's a deep statement.
Yeah, but
That's a very deep statement.
Contemplate.
Yeah.
Ponder upon it and contemplate. Okay, these are not my words, by the way. These are words from the Shastra. Okay, this is Krishna's words. Whatever I'm saying here is not my words. I don't have the intelligence to speak these things. I'm simply a parrot. I'm just repeating what Krishna has said. Okay, so if we Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it, okay? I'm just giving you a different perspective. You may have a different idea. Think about this, okay? And then see whether it makes sense and it's something that you can base your belief on, okay? Everybody has beliefs, but if you base your belief on truth, it's beneficial. If you base your belief on something which is changeable, mutable, then you have to keep changing your belief every time. The fundamentals change, then your belief has to change as well.
So I totally agree with what you say, and I think that statement is 100% correct. You know, belief can change, truth is constant, but how do you know what is the truth?
Yeah.
That is the key question,
It's
right?
a fact.
No, but how do you know that's a fact? How do you know what's a truth?
I'm coming to that,
Yeah,
sorry.
we'll come to that,
Just,
yeah.
I mean, I won't go too much into it. Like I said, you
Yeah.
know, today we're talking about the science of the soul. And we have, all these
Digress
are
a bit.
related,
Yeah.
all very good questions. I'm glad all these questions are coming up. But we have, this is supposed to be a 16-session Bhagavad Gita discussion. I'm happy to go on for 32 sessions if you like. Okay, that's entirely up to you. But Himanji, what you said also, that some people may believe the existence of the soul, some people may say there's no soul, you know, and you said that's why the Shastras come into play. By reading the Shastras, you know, it's guiding us towards the right understanding and belief. That is true, but that's only partially true, okay? Where I differ with you is to say that if I say that I don't believe there is a soul, you know, it's like this. No, it's scientific evidence, common sense evidence proves it. Just like what we said. When the living force is no longer there in the body, we say the person is gone. Say the person is gone, it's not there anymore. And this is just one example. So what we choose to call it may be different. But we cannot deny the fact that there is a living force which gives consciousness to dead matter. Without that consciousness, it's just dead matter. Right? So we cannot deny that. So it's, you know, let's not get hung up on the word jugglery here, what we want to call it and everything. But
Absolutely.
look at the principle. Even without studying the Shastras, just by observation, daily observation in our day-to-day lives, we can see that there's something that exists beyond just the body and everything. And all these documented evidences of past life regression, you know, out-of-body experiences, near-death experiences, and all that. There's not just one or two of these, there are many. And they're not all in India, by the way, okay? They're spread out all around the world. It's so extensive now that even modern science, Western scientists cannot ignore it anymore. Okay? So challenge yourselves to think about these things. Go a little bit deeper. Right. Are we good so far?
I just have one question.
No, I'm over time, sorry. No, let it come to Sonaji's
Sona.
question first. Very quickly, you said,
Yes,
why
yes,
is it we
yes.
don't remember the past life?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
there is a reason for it. Let me just keep it very brief, okay, the reason. Sorry about this example, but just to explain it to you very briefly in a nutshell. You're married to Himanji, okay? In your past life, let's say you were a victim of a murder, and it was Himanji who murdered you. Let's say. Let's say in your previous life, okay? Let's say in your previous life this is what happened.
Don't get ideas this in this life.
Speak for yourself. He always.
That's why you married. That's the result. That's why you married. It's a karma.
You be careful.
So let's say in your previous life that Himanji murdered you. Okay?
Don't call me G.
And now in this life, you're both married to each other. If you remembered your past life, what is your married life going to be like in this
I
lifetime?
would have murdered him too.
Yeah, exactly.
Still might.
You probably,
How do you know?
yes, you probably would have done the same to him. Or if not, you can do something even better, which most women like to do. Don't murder him, but murder him in a different way by
Marry him.
every day reminding him how he murdered you in your past life and how you're being so good to him by serving him in this life. This is why. You get what I'm
Interesting.
saying? So that's a reason why we don't remember our past lives. There's a reason for it. Krishna does everything perfectly. There are no hiccups in his computer system. Everything works perfectly, okay? But it's a very, very extensive topic. I'm just briefly touching on it because you
So this
asked.
is also part of the Gita, like this, not remembering the past.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's
Yes,
also
yes.
there in the Gita.
It will come later.
Yes.
So it's all about the subconscious, conscious mind. Is it that subject where it says about the mind?
No, it talks about reincarnation. It talks about the fact that the soul transmigrates through, you must have heard how many species of life are there? 84
billion.
8.4 million, Rita. 8.4 million species of life, and we can transmigrate through any of these species. Okay? So just a case in point, Himanji, what you were saying about our activities in this life. In this life, we're all human beings. There's no guarantee that in our next life we will be born as human beings. There's no guarantee. It will be determined by our actions in this life. So we have to, that's why I said be careful with every word, every thought, every action. We are preparing our next body, our next life.
If your actions are good, don't you get a moksha?
Yes, if your actions are good, you get a better life. And if they're really good, you get liberation. Okay, so that's what we're working towards.
I have some questions, but maybe I'll keep it for
Yeah.
other class. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And he also said that, how do you know it is the truth,
Yes.
right?
No, so, again,
You know the story.
that's a whole different topic. I think
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
Yes.
What is truth is a different topic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a minute, we talked, she gave the
You
example
have 2
of
minutes.
when somebody dies, leaves the body, we say the person has left. What to speak of at the time of death, we say like that. When we're alive also, we do that. This is my head, this is my hand. I don't say this is hand, this is my hand. That means me, the person is somebody else.
Yeah.
This is my body, God's body. And that person is using the body. And that person in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna calls, that person is the spirit soul. Right?
The person is?
Spirit soul. Atma, Jivatma.
Right? My hand, my head, my eyes. Who is this my that we're referring to? Because intrinsically we understand that I'm not this body. I'm a living force. Okay? Think about it. Okay? Contemplate on this. Can we move on?
53 years I've been thinking about it.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll continue.
I'm 8 years up.
I've
on
been
you.
thinking,
61
oh, sorry, not
years.
53, maybe a little bit.
61 years I've been thinking about it.
53 years, 9 months, maybe.
Okay, I cannot just let this pass because Raviji asked, how do we know what is the truth? Okay, so very briefly, again, it's a very, very big topic which hopefully we can cover more as we're going along. How do we know if it's the truth? Okay, so the thing is, we accept a lot of things on faith. We need to accept a lot of things on faith. Now, whenever I say this, most people have this thing, oh, that means, religion is just based on faith. Spirituality, religion is all based on faith. You have to believe it. You have to have some faith. I beg to differ. I would challenge you that it's not just religion and spirituality. I would challenge you that everything we do in life is based on faith. We are sitting here, what floor are we on? Okay, forget about here now. We all live in apartments in Hong Kong. 30 something, 40 something, 50 something floor. Why do we live there? Because we have faith that this building is not going to collapse under us. True? We have faith. That's why we live there, in these apartments. We go to work every day. Do we get paid every day? When do we get paid? At the end of the month. But we go to work religiously every day because we have faith that at the end of the month, we are going to get paid. I go to bed tonight making plans for what I'm going to do tomorrow because I have faith that I'm going to wake up tomorrow to see a new day. So many things we do in life is based on faith. So many day-to-day things we do in life is based on faith. We're just not aware of it. We're just not conscious of it. But when we say that in religion you have to take some things based on faith, then everyone has a problem with it. generally. Or why should I take the Shastras? Who's written the Shastras? Who knows whether Shastras are true and all that? We go to school, we study so many things, okay? We are told 2 + 2 is 4. We take it on faith. We are told that the sun is 93 million miles away from the Earth planet. We take it on faith, we accept it. Has anyone gone to measure it? Anyone here gone to measure the distance between the Earth and the sun? Raise your hands if you have. No, right? Shashwat, you've done it?
He plans to, I think.
So many things we accept on faith, right? We don't know, but we accept that somebody else has done it. Somebody else has measured this, and they have verified it, and therefore we accept their findings based on faith. We are fine to do this when it comes to science. Whatever the scientists tell us, we accept. None of it we have verified ourselves, okay? But we accept based on faith of what they say. But when it comes to accepting the words of our rishis, and the rishis in the Shastras and Krishna's words, then we have a problem. We say, oh, how can I just accept it on faith? Is it true or not?
It is.
This is the general mentality of people, all right? Again, please don't get me wrong. I'm not fault finding with anybody. I'm Indian, just like you, okay? My pet peeve in life, my passion in life is to light a fire under every Indian's butt. Excuse my language. This is my passion in life. Indians have some of the best brains in the world. We are one of the most intelligent people amongst the human species, okay? But we are so dull-headed and lethargic when it comes to our own Shastras and our own culture and the rich heritage that we come from. So all I'm trying to do here is raise awareness. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please just, by the way, I wasn't born like this.
I was about to come to that,
Yes,
right?
I wasn't born like this.
20 years back, probably,
Yes.
you would have been, and all of us are at different altitudes,
Correct.
right? Or the hierarchy of needs, as we call
Yes.
it, right? Somebody is at level 1, somebody is at
Yes.
level 5.
Yes.
Self-actualization,
Yes.
right? I'm sure 20 years back or 30 years back, you'll probably be on a different altitude.
Absolutely.
And because of whatever
I
experience.
had to work so much on her.
I can see that. You're letting her.
Excuse me?
You
You can see that?
you lit a fire on my one today. The second point. But on a serious note, I think it's the altitudes which keep on changing in life, right? I was not like this 20 years back. And I'll not be like this if I live for the next 20 years. I'll not be like this. That's not evolution, right? But that's what I was trying to say. What you hook on to probably defines what altitude you go on to, right? And you're very strongly and beautifully articulating it, right? It makes me believe what you're saying,
Thank you.
right?
Half my job is done then.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then that's where I'll probably go to the next level. And that's where I'm coming from. If you ask me the next time, the components of the body, I'll not remember it honestly. But the gist of it is what I'm going to take. And that's what I'm here for.
Thank you very much
So,
for sharing that.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. You're absolutely right. We are all on individual journeys. Okay, so there's no judgment here. There's no judgment here that, oh, I know so much more than you, how come you don't know these things? No, that absolutely not. I certainly do not claim to have this knowledge from the time I was born or anything like this. Just like you are learning today, I went through this process of learning also. But just as someone was there to teach me and guide me and help me onto this path, that's simply what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to pay it forward. Okay? I'm just trying to return the favor that I received, the mercy that I received. I'm just trying to share it with everyone here. Because we learn in two ways. We can learn through our own efforts, okay, or through our own mistakes. But the intelligent person learns not only from his mistakes, but also through the mistakes of others. Okay? So when we can learn this at a younger age, we benefit. Okay? The older we are, the longer time we take to learn. But at a young age, if we can learn these things, that means we are on the express train. Okay? Shashwat, are you getting this better? You're on the express train. No, you're on the direct flight. You're not even on the train. No, seriously, okay? Seriously, because I wish that when I was Shashwat's age, I wish someone had told me these things. Then I wouldn't have, been bumming around for so many years trying to understand something. I could have grasped it a lot sooner.
So I shared the same experience with Prabhuji last time, and I told him that I used to go to ISKCON, and maybe I studied so many things that you're sharing now, but my mind didn't perceive it, or maybe I didn't understand it at that level. But now the points I can understand and the way I can enact on it is very different from what I got it when I used to go to ISKCON at that point. So there is also a difference in the time that you're perceiving it because of the experience you're having at that
True.
point. So.
True. The experience, yes, life experiences also gives us maturity. And when that maturity comes, we are more able to grasp things which didn't make sense to us earlier. So that's a very valid point as well. In addition to life experiences, there's a very easy way to fast track this ability to grasp and understand. Would you like to know what that is? Would you like to know?
Yes.
Yes. Don't seem very interested.
Yes.
Yes. That is by engaging in seva. Engaging in seva, in devotional service. This is a way to fast track ability to understand and grasp higher truths and knowledge. Because one thing we need to be very clear about, and which I don't have to elaborate much because all of you have this experience. I cannot understand the Bhagavad Gita by reading it. I cannot understand the Bhagavad Gita by reading it. You all have this experience, right?
Yes.
Yes? You tried reading it, couldn't understand it, right? We cannot, if you want to understand history, you can read a history book. You can remember and you can give the answers and you can pass your exam. You can understand it by reading a book. Spiritual knowledge cannot be attained by reading. Spiritual truths, higher truths, need to be revealed. It comes by revelation. It doesn't come by studying. It comes by revelation. But how does that means Krishna has to reveal it to us. But how does that revelation come? When we express that desire, that eagerness to know, eagerness to learn. That is done through seva, engaging in seva, in devotional service. When we engage in seva, see, our mind is like a mirror. Mind is like a mirror. But right now the mirror is covered by dust. When the mirror is covered by dust, can you see? Can you see yourself? It's very difficult to see. You have to clean the mirror. You have to clean the mirror so that you can see your own reflection. Engage in seva, devotional service, is like cleansing the mirror of the mind. When we cleanse the mirror, we are able to see, understand these higher truths. That means Krishna can reveal it to us, and we have the capacity to understand these truths. Is this making sense, what I'm saying?
This is seva, who's seva?
Supreme Lord.
Seva, okay, that's another big topic by itself. Many people feel that seva means service to humanity. Yeah, they're doing, philanthropical activities, all that. That is one level of seva, okay? But how many people can you help? With your 2 hands, how many people can you help? Yes, how many people on this planet, Shashwat? Around 8 billion, right? 6.4 billion are below the poverty line, really. So, how many people can we help with our 2 hands? Krishna has unlimited hands. Okay? He's not limited by time and space like we are. He can help everyone. So what we do is we engage in service to the source of everything. Okay? And then we pray to him, please, I'm limited in what I can do, but you are not. So let's say you want to help some people somewhere else, you engage in service to him and pray to him and ask him to help everybody on the planet. And in this way, we are helping a bigger group of people than we can help just by ourselves individually. Now, does this mean we shouldn't help anyone ourselves? Of course we should. But the point I'm making is we are limited, right? We are limited in how many people we can help. But by engaging in service, Krishna will then reciprocate with us by fulfilling our desires. If our desire is to help a village in India which has no running water, okay, Krishna will help. We can't go there and dig wells for them maybe, but Krishna will do something to help.
If you keep in that to this, so I get something in return, you're still not gonna get something in return, because that's like doing with a desire that you get something in return.
That's motivation. You're doing it with a motivation to get something back.
So
Is that what you're saying?
Is it a guarantee you're getting something in return when you help someone else?
You will, whether you ask for it or not. If you help someone, you will get something in return. If you do something good, you will get punya. It's the law of nature. It's just the law of nature, all right? If there's fire, if I put my hand in the fire, what's going to happen to me? I'll get burnt. I'll get burnt. If Shashwat puts his hand, will he get burnt? Yes. It's the nature of fire to burn, okay? So the law of nature is fire burns. So if whoever it may be, I'm going to get that reaction. So in the same way, whatever action I do, good or bad, I'm going to get the reaction. That's law of nature, that's already there. Okay. So we are already beyond time, and I've not even covered half of what I was planning to cover today. But it's, yeah, I mean, it's good. Discussion is good. It's good to generate discussion. We don't want to just attend a class and, just blindly accept everything. Of course, we want to understand it clearly. So I appreciate your discussion today. We will continue next time with the rest of it. But before I conclude, can I just ask you for your takeaways from today? We didn't get down to any particular discussions of topics like we normally do, because we had a lot of other things that came in, but it's good. It's all good. Can I just request you to share, some of you, to share what is your takeaway from today's discussion?
Divided into 4 parts.
Sorry?
The body is divided into 4 parts. The gross body, so the mind, soul, and
Gross
spirit.
body, subtle body.
Subtle body.
Yeah. Gross body is made up of the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, and then subtle body is made up of
Mind, ego, and intelligence.
mind, intelligence, and ego. Good. And then
Soul and super soul.
yeah, the soul is who we are, and super soul is expansion of Krishna who is with us in the body. Okay, thank you, Shashwat. Very nice.
So I just have one small question. The supreme soul and the soul are together. Like, what is their existence in the body? So it is made up of 4 things, or just 3 things, and the supreme soul is just a part.
It's like a tree. It's like a tree. 2 birds sitting on the tree.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the soul and the super soul are like that.
So they are attached to each other.
They're not attached to it.
Attached.
2 birds.
Different.
2 birds. They're not attached, right? 2 individual birds. Yeah, they're 2 individuals.
Okay.
2 individual birds. They're sitting on the same tree. So it's like that. We have 2 different souls sitting in the same body. One bird is doing all the actions. The other bird is just witnessing.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, so this, as I said, the science of the soul is a very, very big topic. We will continue discussions. Anyone else would like to share? Sachinji, you came for the first time today. Like to ask
No, I'm still digesting all the points which you have made today, but the point which is not around the sloka itself or the chapter which you're going through, but the discussion you had with Hemang around belief versus truth, that is something which I believe is a very interesting subject, because we always tend to nurture around belief. We have not thought about truth. What is the exact truth in this real world? I really like some of the articulation around what would be the truth. So I really need to ponder more about this, possibly, because one of the aspects of Gita is we need to be more oriented towards the given truth than belief system. So there are certain written truths out there which we need to at least take on our heart and accept that to be the truth.
Yeah.
Then we can follow Gita. Otherwise, on a belief system, probably things will not work.
Yes, very true. Because like I said before, beliefs can change with time. Interestingly, in the Bhagavad Gita, at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains all these truths to Arjuna. Okay, and then he tells Arjuna, I've explained all these things to you. Now you decide what you're going to do. Because remember the dilemma of Arjuna, why was the Gita spoken? Because Arjuna had a dilemma. He didn't know whether he should fight in this war. So Krishna, in the process of explaining things to him, he's actually explaining it to all of us, individual souls, right? So that we can understand, because these are all facts that pertain to our daily lives, not just Arjuna on the battlefield. So Krishna is explaining all these things, and he is then telling Arjuna that I've explained all these truths to you, now you decide what you should do. And it's the same for us. Krishna never imposes anything. That's the meaning of free will. We all have, to some extent, free will. So this is what the the whole Gita is about. But we also have to see that the whole Bhagavad Gita started with Arjuna's confusion, and by the end of the Gita, he was in clarity. So this journey of Arjuna from confusion to clarity is what the entire summary, is the sum and substance of the Bhagavad Gita. This journey from confusion to clarity. Yes?
That's the journey of truth, probably.
Yes. Yes, because Krishna, and Arjuna doesn't just accept whatever Krishna says. He does, challenge, he does question, because he wants to understand it clearly. So questioning is not an issue. But we also don't question for the sake of just challenging. In that way, that we'll never learn anything, So ponder, contemplate, think about it. I'm also not asking you to accept anything blindly. I'm raising awareness, I'm presenting to you what Krishna has presented. Now you think about it. But if you think about it, introspect honestly. Don't be attached to your own ideologies, but introspect honestly. If you see that truth is there, then you should accept it. So, introspection, good.
It's more about changing the mindset, because the way we all have been brought up, and the education system,
yes,
particularly, that drives the thinking. The thinking is more around, you need to understand the facts, the assumption, what the theory is, then the articulation of conclusion. Everything is more structured. Yes. Gita or the truth is very different.
True.
You are given certain parameters which are to be accepted, and then you need to apply your thinking.
But those parameters are not whimsical. It is based, those parameters are things we can relate to. Because just like what we're discussing today, Krishna says that we are spirit souls. And then we ask whether souls really exist, but we can see, even from day-to-day experience, we can see there is a living force. So those parameters, it's not that we are supposed to accept it blindly. If we think about it more carefully, we can see that these parameters actually are there. It's just that we may not recognize it on a day-to-day basis. Consciously, we may not recognize it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you, Sachinji, for sharing. Anyone else?
See, in a
Let
way,
them share.
in a way, Krishna, sorry.
I don't know what connection we had in our past lives. I really don't know.
In a way, Arjuna's confusion was based on his belief system.
Yeah.
Whatever he learned that far before he put forward the questions, and then Krishna started revealing the absolute truth. Absolute truth, when it was revealed to Arjuna, then only he had a clarity of mental. Otherwise, on his belief system, he was so confused.
Yes.
And it happens to us. Our belief system depends on, as you said, education system and all that. So those are limited parameters. That's why we cannot see the absolute truth, the wider truth. And for that, we need to get the guidance from Bhagavad Gita.
That's an excellent point today. Yeah. I think one of the issues we face is that because of the modern education system, we're all conditioned to think in this way. Facts, evidence, like this. Proof. Everything has to be like it. Yeah. So we are conditioned to think in this way. But let's understand that if we have this mindset that I will only accept what is tangible, what can be proven, we are closing ourselves off to a whole spectrum, a whole hemisphere of truths which are not necessarily accessible to us through our sense perception. We're closing ourselves off to them. This is what we have difficulty accepting, because we're so conditioned with this modern way of study, of education. Okay? Not bad. I don't have anything against modern education. I was also educated in the Western education system. But I'm just saying that let's not ignore our Eastern values and system of education, because there's a whole treasure trove in there which the rest of the world doesn't know about. As Indians, we have direct access to this, which other people don't. So let's be intelligent and take this also. Wait and see how I can use this. Yeah? Anyone else? Share. Ladies?
We spoke about what is Bhagwan.
Yes.
Is the one who is full of wisdom, full of knowledge, full of strength,
Knowledge, wisdom, strength,
Beauty.
beauty,
Well.
Fame.
one who is famous
Yes.
and
Not attached.
yes, renounced.
Renounced.
Yes, full of renunciation. This is the definition of Bhagavan. Very good, okay. Any other takeaways?
I liked your, the thought of why we can't remember past life.
Because I murdered Sona in the last.
That's a good example, but I think that's a good takeaway because that's always been a question. And I think, that's been
But I
answered very well because.
That's a good example.
So for me, I do believe that, souls do interact with people in different ways. So for example, she's my wife, but in previous life she could have been my mother or my sister or somebody else. Now if you remember all that, it'd be very difficult for us to be husband and
Yes,
wife.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's a great.
It's a blessing.
It's actually, so I never thought of it that way, is that it's a positive that you don't remember.
Yes.
So that was a great
Yes,
thing I'll take away today.
Thank you for sharing that. And it is, Krishna says that. He says that if you remember everything, you won't be able to function in this life.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you're carrying of all, thinking
Exactly.
about all these things, who did what to me and everything. Even if you're not connected, you may be just living in La Prestige, okay? Maybe, Nityaji, maybe you owed money to Pooja last life, okay? Didn't repay your debt. Remember imagine if she remembers this. Now this life she will be after you to repay the debt from the last life.
That's probably a good thing.
I've been trying to resist, but I can't help myself. How did we get into bad karmas? How did this begin? How did this all start?
Next topic
Right?
again.
But
Are
we'll.
you willing to stay here till tomorrow
Sorry,
morning?
let's just keep the question there. You don't have to answer it.
If
But I
you're
just
willing
couldn't
to be here
resist.
till
Yeah,
tomorrow morning, then we
I'm
can
just so
discuss.
curious to know how did
Yes, it's good.
the bad karmas
Curiosity
come
is
in
good.
here. Yeah. Hmm?
Curiosity is good, but we will discuss
Yes,
it when
yes,
we come
yes,
to
surely.
the
Thank
topic
you
on
very much.
karma.
Thank you. Yeah.
Anyone else wants to share?
we spoke about spiritual truth which will be revealed through, not by reading but by revelation.
Yes, and how do we try to expedite that process of revelation?
By seva.
By seva, engaging in devotional service. Let's understand that's why in our culture we have this concept of seva. Yes, we have this concept of seva because that is the way, that's the method by which you attract divine blessings and the revelation. So seva is very important. And I don't mean philanthropy, I mean actual direct seva to Krishna. Okay, good, everyone?
You actually gave a very good perspectives. The way you articulated, and we never thought on those lines. Like, we actually believe what is scientifically proved, right? We believe, yeah. But we never trust our Vedas and Shastras. So, yeah, very, very good perspectives.
Thank you. As I said, half my work is done today.
So in the times of Gen AI, I think this is a chat.
Times of?
So these are the times of Gen AI. I think there's a chat GPT
Gen AI.
for Gita.
Yeah.
These sessions, okay, you just have some prompts, you'll get some insights. So beautiful, I think,
Thank
discussion.
you. Thank you for that. Anyway, I just want to reiterate, I take no credit for any of this. It's not coming from me. Everything is coming from Krishna. And whatever I'm able to speak is only by the mercy of my Guru. Because I have a spiritual master who has trained me, and I'm just a parrot. I'm just repeating his words, that's all. So I
So
take
we are like the Arjuns here and you are the Krishna.
Oh
in
my
in
God.
one way or the other.
Not at all.
Too many questions, answers,
Yeah.
symbolic, right? So
Absolutely, absolutely.
We're all here learning together.
Absolutely.
That's
So-
all, we're all learning together.
But
So again,
thank you.
thank you very much. Before
Thank
you go.
Just a request, remember what we said about forgetfulness, right? And about seva, she said, no? When we do more seva, spiritually we rise. The higher we rise, the deeper knowledge can be revealed within our mind. That's the equation. Higher we rise, the deeper knowledge will be revealed.
So we discussed a few things today. Please think about it. More importantly, thinking is the beginning, but try to apply some of these things in your daily life. That's the most important thing. When is our next gathering? When is our next? 23rd Jan. Yeah. Is everyone here, or is anyone away for the Chinese New Year holidays?
23rd is still
23rd Jan. It's good?
It's not Chinese New Year. It's the week
Yeah, it's the week
after.
after.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
anyone going away earlier, I'm not sure, but otherwise 23rd, we are confirmed.
Yeah.
Can someone please book the room for the next one?
I'll make a booking.
Thank you. And this is Prasad from Kashi Vishwanath Temple in India. This is Krishna's mercy because we're studying his words in the Bhagavad Gita. We're sitting in Hong Kong and he's sending us prasadam from India. This is proof of the divine mercy and blessings of the Lord. Please pass it around. Everyone take. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.